Ladies and gentlemen, this is your final boarding call for the good ship SS tomorrow.
Today on The Friendly Futurist, the cybersecurity threats you need to know about in 2026. Welcome back, and yes, I'm back for a new year. I have taken a little bit of sabbatical. I've got other commitments on. If those who know me personally, I am also writing my PhD and studies getting in the way. But what I'm trying to do today, guys, from this year, is probably publish less, but concentrate on quality guests. So every time a guest comes on board, I'm going to record. And today is no exception. I've got Anastasia from Group IB, and we're discussing all the latest cybersecurity threats that you need to be aware of in 2026, including a large coming from AI and how hackers are using AI to pretty much prey on your vulnerability. I know this sounds scary. I know this podcast is called The Friendly Futurist, but sometimes you need to address this darker side of technology. So hopefully it's a friendly advice to look out for things. Social engineering is getting more and more elaborate, and I just don't want to see any future heads out there getting hurt. So Anastasia is coming up after the break. And welcome back to another episode, and first for 2026. And we've got a very special guest. We've got Anastasia from Group 1B. And we're going to talk all things cybersecurity. We have covered this in the past, but this is probably a evolving topic. And I always like to keep you refreshed on what's happening because the threats haven't gone away. The threats keep evolving. Anastasia, welcome. And first of all, like with all my guests, can you please just give us a quick rundown on your journey so far and start wherever you want to start?
Okay, for sure. Thank you, Dave, for having me today. It was a pleasure, guys, who listen in us in this podcast. I hope you will enjoy it because I really like chit-chatting about the threats, all the cyber stuff which is going on around us. I'm Anastasia. I'm working in the cybersecurity, I guess, nearly 15 years already. My passion always was national state hackers and who is like supported by the governments doing like a espionage thing and etc. stuff. So it's kind of movie story, I would say. And after this, I'm like obtaining more knowledge about the threat landscape itself, like who attacking, how they're attacking, when they will be in the next like minute, months, year, what we expect, and etc. So right now I'm the global threat research lead at the Group IB. So my understanding of the global threat landscape, because if we imagine the same threat can do different things in different countries. So especially how the like ransomware group they're attacking Australia will be in another way how they are tracking, USA, because of the technology the country uses itself, the mentality of the people who live in the country, and there's others like local stuff, which normally for us separate us from others like governments, countries, and etc. So they will be used by the cyber criminals. So specifically, small about this, I kind of young, but really passionate about what I'm doing, I would say.
It's good to have your passions. And what's for someone who's not cybersecurity savvy, what's some of the changes you've seen, let's say, over the last 12 months? And you compare?
Yeah, kind of good question, I would say, because we in Group IB trying to go through all the changes, and that's why we like publish our annual reports each year. And I guess a lot of the vendors doing the same thing because the visibility that endpoints, like clients and customers of the companies should have, like you and me, like a normal people should be aware some new threats which is happening right now. We see the drastic change in not like a hacking in the real way, like a lot of the new malware, of course, pop up, new groups we found out, something who is sitting like long years enough in the organization itself. But a lot of the cyber criminals shifted to the using trust as their main point. Yeah, we all know about the scams themselves. So if you like, okay, the first things which pop up when you say trust and abuse, it will be scams calling about, oh my God, you won $5,000. So if you want to obtain it, like put your card here or something like this, like a small stuff which happening, I guess, in some cases daily. But we already educate ourselves enough to see who is the scammer in these schemes. But they going drastically further in this case. That's why they try not only, so like a small groups who is coming only like end users, they're trying to rebuild the system and starting to attack companies. So this is another level of the attacking. So they imagine that like you as your employee, like you're working on some company already. So if they will interrogate with your trust to the company or give you like some explanation or the trust that you speak with some of the another your colleague or the boss or I don't know, with anyone who will support IT in your company, etc. stuff. So it gives them the possibility to obtain a lot of the access, a lot of the information through you about the company itself, about the competitors, I don't know, about the technology, new product that you will launch and etc. stuff. So I would say this starts to be another level in this case. Did you see something similar the days near you?
Yeah, well, it sounds like it's quite almost like a sophisticated social engineering, I guess.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I would say so. They because of they already have a lot of others like compromises. For example, this in the PAC region, which happens a lot. So our guys even shared without that they obtained an SMS message about saying like, you previously visited this hospital and this is a real name of hospital which this person not so long ago visited about the checkups and etc. And they already know some of you information that make you more like believe on what they say. Like you visited it, we saw your data, we need to obtain your like some enquete or biographic, etc. stuff. Please pull all your data here and like we will use it to like rebuild your identity in our hospitals. That's it. And this sounds really like a right thing. So yes, I was there. So not so long ago. It sounds for me it's connected. The person with whom I connect right now is from this hospital. So I can share everything. Something like this. And after this happens, another stuff like they install the malicious application or they obtain the data or some corporate access, etc. stuff. So more, I would say, pursued threat actors right now. Yeah, I guess this word's working better.
Yeah. And I guess too, just building on it, I'm seeing a lot more cases of voices being cloned and people building upon this that they're trying to impersonate, say, a known boss or client or family member and gain that trust that way.
There's one, can I say like a great hacker? I always, when I say like a positive, something like a great, good, sophisticated.
Go for it, yeah.
It sounds like I cheer someone up, but no. In speaking this case, like the one of the sophisticated threat actor, the huge zone of trust was a Scatter's Spider. During the year, there a lot of the like news pop up because they compromise some third parties vendors from whom they obtain access to the end users, to the end big platforms, etc. So, for example, they managed to obtain accesses through the Salesforce Drift, one of the integration which is used by a lot of the main companies to deal with and see the contracts to customers that they have, like to have this database, etc. So through the obtaining information and tokens to this platform and this integration, they managed to have the access to the third parties who using it. So there's a big names like a Louis Vuitton, like Dior, which we can possibly buy in the day. So if you are a customer of them, so they already have you in the list. And these guys, like, they interfered with the process between the IT department and the person who worked from the company itself. So what they did, they normally did like dual calls. One call, they go call to the endpoint, like third party used the solution. They ask them the main IT question that can be used by the same people, like what the access you have, where you will be, how you use the solution, like we're trying to update it, etc. Like all the normal question will be asked through this, like a help desk or through this solution. And then obtaining all this question from the employee, they will go back to the real solution which this company use and answer the same question which they already obtained the answer from these guys. And that's why, like, asking, like, can I obtain the new token because I want to like rebuild, upgrade integration, or like I need to another access from the like computer set for any like story clausable enough to them, like to make this connection. And after that, they obtain token. So they have access to this third party, which is integrated with solution, and see all the customers' email data for them, like how much they spend, for example, in your like boutique or buying your product or service. So it's like a huge deal happened during the year. And we started to see more and more, not only them started to produce such activities, even smaller groups just like seeing their results, they like influence, I would say, and trying to implement something like this in their daily work, I would say. Is it scary enough?
Yeah, it's scary. And building upon this, it seems like we've just really opened up a can of worms with AI. It's everywhere right now, and when the report says that cyber criminals are using it, how concerned should my listeners be about this threat?
I don't want to scare you more, guys, but unfortunately, the AI is helping us a lot. So I knew, either me or I guess, and you using it daily basis, like quickly searching some information. So previously it was like Googling information. Now it's like AI and information. So when you search about what to eat or like day-to-day routine or who is painting this picture, it's works like perfectly fine. It helps our like companies building a faster solution, develop something, etc. But unfortunately, this is a great, like a solution for the threat actors to abuse. What they do mainly like a payment fraud, or they do development of the malware in quicker way, or they previously did manually and spend a longer time. Right now, they can educate AI doing it for them. For example, what we saw, this like a scam campaigns. They're previously like a guy who's have already 9 years of the experience to send in spam emails to the end users. He decided like, okay, I do it manually. I need to register infrastructure. I need to think about how to make my email sound plausible, how the links inside will see similar, or like how to convince the user to communicate with this email, etc. stuff. Right now, what he did, like he built some, is it named like a spam GPT, where he already shared all his knowledge, all his data sets, all the like schemes that he have. Is it, for example, I don't know, romance scam, when you try to attract person to meet each other, like have the romance and etc., like relationship. So it will be educated to do so instead of you producing yourself these emails. So that's why they like obtaining all these similar letters as your company write to you or your relatives or somebody else. Other like way because of we have a lot of our own presenters in the internet, they can obtain your face, like ours, Dave, right now. I hope nobody had recorded it, but they're taking our voice, they're taking our face, they can make a deep fake. So as we mentioned already, the boss call you and say like, this is urgent. Right now you need to send like $35 million to this account because we almost lost the deal. Like right now doing it here. And the people believe that they're speaking with the boss because they see like, the sum should be sent. Yes, it sounds plausible is I see the voice. I see the guys sitting with me in the chat. I see there's faces in the call. So they start to automatically believe. And we guess that these fraud-powered AI things will happen more often in the near future because like a lot of models educated enough to making this like smoother than it was previously, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So guys,
Probably the
please
reason why I
be
don't record a
aware with
video.
whom you're speaking.
Yeah.
I'm not AI. But
Yeah, that's right. They can guess my face, but now that comes more like a business actually. So how does the cybercrime industry actually work?
There's like several ways how they can build this, I would say, sometimes even syndicate. Why we name it syndicate? Because there's inside several layers of cybercriminals who produce in the real threats. So it will be like first layer will be guys who exactly speaking with the end victim. So they trying to convince them to open the link or install the application or send the money, etc. So they're trying to interact, doing something for them or communicate deeply or share the data, etc. stuff. Second layer, it will be guys who build in network infrastructure where all the like phishing will be like presented, where the malware will be presented or how it looks like as a similar like application you daily use, for example. There will be developers who build in these malicious applications. They will, they will see like AI topic is popular right now. For example, they will build some AI tool which help to make your life easier, etc. And they will be sharing it. Oh my God, I use it a lot. Please, all the lot. I really enjoy. Some like even review can be, etc. So it is like all the layers and all of them like connected. It can be different people. Not normally this is like a one guy who's sitting doing all of this. And like will be the last guy who will be resending, rebuilding and obtaining all the data they already have. And in the end, when they obtain the access, for example, to the company or to your computer itself, like if we're speaking about ourselves, they will search quickly inside, obtaining all the necessary information that they need, financial, technological, and etc. stuff. And depending on their goals, if they obtain for their own usage, because of their country supporters and share it to their own country to be a technological faster than this country. It's one way. Another way, they can try to sell it in the dark web, for example, out of databases, and the list of your customers can be presented there. What it means for us, let's imagine all of this, like a million of the customers, it's some identity. So another like hacker can obtain this identity and use it, then attacking some other stuff. This is like a wave of the possibilities it gives after one compromise to making another, like a wave of compromises, I will name it. And if we're speaking about the like a national state hackers, they have additional money involvements in this, so they produce some malicious stuff much easier than the ordinary cyber criminals, if we say, without support, because they should find the money themselves. There's the government that's like believed to sponsor them to make this possible or hire some additional developers for them. So it's a lot of the big, like I would say, it's like a companies, but in the bad way as we can describe it. So that's like a hackers companies itself and say. So there's a platforms or places where they can share their own knowledge or sell their solution. So as a name like Spam GPT, it sells like a solution in the dark web. So other affiliates can buy the access and like use this tool on their day by day basis for the attacking.
Yeah, and speaking of a macro level, the report also talks about supply chain attacks. Can you explain what this is and just give my listeners some real life examples of what's happened out there?
So supply chain attack, so I like the simple example. So you day by day using some applications in your phone, but they produce it by someone else. So supply chain is when the hackers attacking these integrator or these developers or this specific application and injected code inside or obtaining the access, they will have access to the whole people who using this solution. So I'm using, I don't know, ChatGPT, for example. If somebody will compromise it, it would possibly will have access to send all the malicious application to all the users who use ChatGPT. So me personally can be, if I not be protected, I will be obtain this solution. Imagine if this solution used by others companies, like $1 million companies with a lot of the employees inside or the customers itself. So there can be a lot of downwaves in the attack. This is great example was about the Oracle case. So this is a big firm who is producing a lot of solutions and use it whether all from the small businesses to the big ones who are making their network infrastructure, etc. So clouds, etc. And there was a 6 million compromised, let's say, the users from this league. What it means, each of these user is possibly connected to some company, which have a lot of the people, a lot of the customers, a lot of the other solutions which can be used day by day basis by others. And if the hackers obtain some of these identities and all of their accesses, it means all of these downgrades companies will be compromised. So this is one of the examples. Salesforce, as I mentioned for you, it was another. Speaking about the week ago, a case for the, I guess it's mostly sounds for the developers, but for our listeners, I would say there was a compromise of the NPM package from the Axios. So what the NPM package is something like a code which is integrated. Each developer can download and use it in their own goals, in their own solution. So, and this specific package was downloaded more than 80 million times a week. So, imagine how many people, how many companies can be compromised through it. This is a big deal. And again, it happens because they abuse the trust. So they pursue developer of this NPM package who has the main admin account, I would say, on the simplest way, and give him the malicious application and obtain all the tokens access to this NPM package. What they did after it, they injected malicious code inside. And everyone, because of its publicly available, everyone who uploaded this new updated package immediately was injected with this malicious code. So,
Wow.
So there's a remote access Trojan. What he's doing, he obtaining a lot of the credentials that you have in your computer, all of them that you have. Additionally, obtaining some information about the cryptocurrency wallets, if you have, and other stuff which presented in your computer or you daily, texting and etc. stuff. So this was a kind of huge deal, even the last week, guys. Please be aware of to whom you believe. Right now, I make you more scared.
Be careful where you put store information. I also guess too, slightly off topic now, with everyone seems to have AI apps. I think is it fair to say they cause it to be a risk of getting their data sets poisoned as well?
I would say so, yes, because they will put inside a lot of the information they already obtained, or they can even pursue some AI to help you to build some malicious stuff. A lot of AI solutions already try to block, because they restricted to help do malicious stuff. But unfortunately, sometimes cybercriminals found the way to pursue AI, help them to do this code. Even they produce some malicious development or a phishing kit. AI will answer to, okay, I'm not a hacker, but if I will be, I will add this Python code or something like this. We saw several cases how they did it. But so that's why we assume and really ask AI LM solutions to be more aware of the hackers do and do this a test checking. Is it possible to abuse their models to produce the code, produce the impersonation, produce this kind of stuff, or how we can manage to see the difference if it's deepfake or this is a real person with whom we're speaking to. It's kind of big deal happening these days. Yeah.
Yeah. And Anastasia, as this podcast is about the future, and I know this space moves quite quickly and it's very hard to predict, but moving, say, towards the end of this decade, what's some other trends that, small businesses, everyday people should be actually pay attention to? What's some things you can see coming up on the horizon? Or
I would say we see a lot of the shifts from the national state hackers who most cases attacking some government, military, or big companies. Right now, we see that they're trying to obtain some financial goals. So they already doing the stuff as normal cyber criminals do. So doing the payment fraud or stealing some customers' data and using it and the others attack, etc. stuff. So we assume the more cases will be where the line between national state and ordinary cyber criminal will be blurred. And especially, as we already mentioned about the trust abuse, we believe that identity-driven fraud powered by AI will be more pursued for the everyday users and small businesses in the next 1-2 years. So we will face more attack with the criminal don't need to hack in the main world in traditional sense, but they just impersonate some trusted people or use stolen access. So because you can easily do highly convincing messages, fake invoices, voice cloning, deepfake video calls, or attackers can log in into its the stolen credentials and session token, etc. stuff. What it gives them? Payment fraud, account takeover, stolen customer data, some larger compromise through the email or cloud platforms, as most of us are going to the cloud. So still, I guess the identity-driven trust abuse will be a most case, not a technology compromise in this meaning, in traditional way. And because of the AI building a lot, I notice a lot of saying AI everywhere. And even me, sometimes I want to close my ears and don't hear no more words about the AI itself. But it happens that's building more platforms like Cloud Code already building a lot. So they produce and make it faster, stronger, better. Others firms starts to do a lot of the new LLMs. So this will be moving fastly on this trust and fraud abuse. Yeah.
Yeah. And before we wrap things up, is there anything I did ask but should?
I guess it's not about the asking, it's more about I want to share, guys. Yeah, I know maybe our session is scary enough for you, all of the listeners. But first of all, when some critical situation happens to you and somebody say it's urgent, critical, respond immediately, send money or click on this, I need it you right now, etc. stuff. Please, first of all, you need to calm down, think how really urgent it is and recheck who is texting, calling, speaking with you right now. It's normal to pause your boss and say just a second, switch the call, text him in another message, check. Previously, he texted you email, for example, and now he started to interfere with you with WhatsApp. So this is strange, something happens. So you need most of the cyber criminal using timing and pressure. So you already overwrought or you're already in a hurry or something it's a big deal happening right now. You need to stop. You will have some additional minutes to figure out what's happening. Nobody in such rush if it's it can be checked. So please be aware which is happening. And starting from you yourself, you can already stop the scams, stop phishing and a lot of this kind of malicious activities.
Yeah. Fantastic. Some really sage advice there. Now, finally, where else can we find you?
I would say if you want to speak about more cyber stuff, I'm in LinkedIn, really open to chit chat about threats. Sometimes I'm visiting conferences in the APAC region or in Australia. And in some cases, I even was in the Chile. But if you want to visit me in person or see about the Group IB, I'm working from the Thailand office. Please, I will be glad to be your guide through the period, but through our office and see what the Group IB doing and how we protect our customers, clients, and end users.
Yeah. You can't go wrong living in Phuket. I'm jealous.
I'm sorry. I really enjoyed this calmness here.
Anastasia, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you this morning. Thank you very much for coming onto the show.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you guys for having me today. See ya.
Thank you for listening. The Friendly Futurist is a Podcast West production and has been produced and edited by me, Dave Munn. If you love this show, please leave us a 5-star review on your favourite platform. That way it can help me grow. And until next time, friends, remember to stay curious and the future is user-friendly.
Another Podcasts West production.
This podcast is just for educational purposes and it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial planner or advisor. Please do your homework and seek professional help before you take on any adventures.